Tuesday. So I'm gonna talk about, I worked a little concrete last week, okay, and it was pretty cool. This week it's raining today, and then there's not a project currently with the boss, so I'm back to making a bunch of videos right here, and we'll see. I want to do more labor stuff like that actually, but because I can feel it's actually like, well, for one, I need to get some more cash flow going, right? So I need that. I'm gonna work on a farm this summer, and here, if I can get some sort of work doing some stuff out here, I'll do it. But right here, obviously, my main passion project is to get this fitness coaching going. And so today, I'm going to talk about motivation for fitness. Yesterday, I did some calisthenics. I did some videos. Make sure to check out my Instagram. Check out what we got going here on YouTube and TikTok. I'm sharing a lot of stuff of what I've been talking about recently in calisthenics. Any sort of resistance training, focusing on a really good breath, expanding the abdomen, inhaling. Okay, really expand your abdomen, be long. Okay, think of that soda can analogy. Your trunk, you are like filling it up with air, pressurizing it, and then the eccentric part of every exercise, right? The eccentric part is where we go slow, like a bicep curl, or if I go shoulder press right here, left hand, I'm gonna push with an engaged tight core, and then I'm gonna pull it down. I'm gonna go slow. A lot of times on shoulder press, people just go, no. You gotta push it, and then so when you train like this, dude, you get so much stronger. You're much more efficient, okay? So you're just a lot more efficient that way. So that's what I'm gonna keep showing. And what else, dog? Let's see. I can pull up. That new Lamborghini got yeah. So yeah, basically that's what I'm trying to say. And let's get a little background. Let me get a little bit of this right here. Hey, come at me. I don't know. Come at me. I'll be rocking, and then I find my space to go and teach the fitness lessons for the folks. I'm talking what I'm talking left and right. Counting up the stacks and wondering when it's gonna go add up. When them people come after me and wanna throw their hands up. Hey, they see me laughing, they see me rising, and they see me rolling. Hey, it's time to teach the fitness. We talking about the eccentric muscles. Hey, eccentric, what? Hey, I'm building the muscle, got the hypertrophy, I'm breathing, I'm building, I'm fucking grinding, I'm efficient with what I do. Alright, breath. I'm out here, Alright, okay, so we'll probably include a little music with this lesson today. I got some echo going on. I don't know if you guys like that. I like to have a little echo. So, but I'll go with that natural vocal. Or we could go with narration. I could be the narrator. You got a little bird noise there. Alright, so anyway, how we doing in the chat? Make sure y'all leave a message right here. Let me see how things are going. We're chilling. And I'm drinking yerba mate today. Okay. But the big things, okay, so I want to talk about that. Now, the other things I want to talk about is the joint pains, right? Joint pain. You know, the top one is neck, then you got low back, and you got shoulder, and you got knee, right? Knee's pretty big. And then, you know, we could say low back. I like to do it like it's basically a hip thing usually. It's lumbosacral, right? Hip, knee. What else are we gonna talk about? Yeah, of course you got like wrist and, you know, just basically all of them that are out there, right? We'll just start listing them, right? The big joints that we got in our bodies. Wrist and ankle and elbow. Elbow usually hasn't been too much of a problem. So if you're on the chat right now, make sure list out a big joint pain you got. Let me know what it is. You guys got major joint pain, whatever it is. What is it? All right, it's fungi. So for me, I'll start with ankle bang. So we got these right here. And let me get some of that background tunage again. Bring it down lower. Okay. Alright, bring that volume down a little more. And this kind of helps us kind of stay in the flow with what we're looking to achieve right now during this fitness coaching lesson right here. But the big thing I want to think about too before we really get into, I'm going to get into the joints, but I also want to get into, I got my yerba mate. I also want to get into how to make fitness more fun too, right? So I want to talk about, so these are the big principles I'm big into. Is the longer stretch, right? The eccentric on your movement. It actually leads to more hypertrophy, bigger muscles, basically. Right? Bigger muscles, and more strength. So, like, really good negatives. And it's not always that way. You technically don't need bigger muscles to have more strength. A lot of times, if you look at the top Olympic lifters, it's not like that, but usually it kind of goes that way. The guy with more muscles is usually a lot more effective at what he does, right? All right, so let's bring it down. And then, so passion, like fucking love for exercise. That's the big idea. How do we find this? And I'll use me as an example. Right? I'll use me as an example because I definitely have my moments where I'm just like, I love this. Don't get me wrong. I always love exercise so much. But for me, it's like I want to find like the best scenario I can out here. Now, yeah. Okay. Now, in the chat, we had Fungi 420. How we doing, Fungi 420? We had Upil Garhaja. Hey, 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 how we doing? How we doing in the chat? What is your most painful joint? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10. Low being 0 being the lowest, sorry, 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Where do you rate your passion, your love for exercise before you go to do a workout today, right now? And so for me, I'll use me as an example while we're sitting here. So right now I'm feeling my low back. So I'm feeling low back. Okay. And then what else? My stuff's not too bad. Most of my body's not too bad right now. But I do, I'd say low back area, low back hip. Okay. And another thing here. For me, on my scale of 1 to 10, I'll be real, I'm probably like at a 4 right now, dude. Okay. Okay. Alright, so anyway, how we doing in the chat, yo? And let me now know. We can hop into my Discord if y'all want to hop in and join my stream, and I can do an interview, a consult for your fitness, and see how we feeling. Okay. But how we doing, how we doing, how we doing? Hey, I've been diving. And so for now, I'm just going to focus on this, and I'll get to the comments later on here. So if I'm someone like me, literally right now, where I can feel my low back, my right hip flexor feels tight, so everything around here is not feeling the greatest. But it doesn't feel bad, actually, because I have some techniques that work pretty fast. And so the first thing I'll say really quick is that if you know, like if you are feeling a joint pain, it's best you can close your eyes, like right here I'm sitting in the chair, and like my lumbosacral, basically below my belly button, my low back, that area is feeling like inflamed or tightish, okay? So I can sit here and I can just feel that. I can even put my hand in this area, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one hand on the front and one hand on the back. All right, so I'm gonna have one hand on the front here, one hand on the back. All I'm gonna do is when I inhale, I'm gonna focus on inhaling through my nose and seeing if I can legit like bring more space into that part of my body when I breathe. So watch, on the inhale. So I'm gonna do that just for a little bit. I'm gonna do 5 breaths like that. Just pretty normal pace. You can exhale through the mouth. Now through the nose. Okay. So I could feel what the big thing is when you can feel that breath going there. All you could do really, if you just sat there and if you just breathe into that space where the tension's at, like if you're just watching TV or you're watching something cook or you're getting ready to go for the day and you got a minute to just stand there and breathe, or you're in the meeting, the office meeting at work and everybody's talking and you're just sitting there. So if you start doing that, try to get your hips into a neutral position. Basically, get your hips back forward rather than arch. A lot of times we're arch. So if I just put my hips a little bit more neutral and then just breathe into the space, it's gonna feel a lot better. Now, here's the kicker. The way to take it to the next level then is if you inhale that, and then you're gonna hold it expanded, and just hold it for like 10 seconds. So watch. And so your diaphragm, right, the reason why this is gonna help out a lot of times is I'm not sure if this is totally proved exactly, but your diaphragm right here, when you can train it through deeper breathing and then allow yourself to hold the exhale, like allow the trunk to feel really expanded from the inhale. Okay, you're really expanded, okay? And then you hold it so the diaphragm actually kind of goes, and then you can train it. Right now I'm holding it, and so I have my expanded abdomen right now. Right there, and hold it, keep the diaphragm engaged and feel expansive. See? So it feels better because a lot of times we're just crunched. We're just like, we're just tight. And so it's like a lot of times if we just expand, fill the abdomen, train the diaphragm, train your abs to support you in the exhales, in the fully inhaled state. And then same thing with the, when I exhale, stay expanded and hold that too. Boom. So now my back's feeling a little bit better. I'm gonna sit down again. This is stuff that I need to do basically all the time, and so that's why I like to teach it, because it's really important for me right here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So usually if you can just get one of your top joint pains out of the way in the morning with some breath work, it's not going to go away forever. You're just learning how to breathe into that space, feel emotionally stable there. When it's recommended to just take your time too. And overall, once you get that space and you feel more expanded, then if you could take a good breath and then just connect to your heart. So now I put my hands on my heart. Fill up and hold it. There we go. Dude, that feels so much better. Because then your heart, when you tap into your heart and you allow it to, basically what's cool is when you connect to your heart through meditation or through breath work like that, it's not as hard as you think. You just gotta do some breath holds, and then you'll feel your heartbeat. I'm telling you, when you hold your breath, you're gonna feel it. And so sometimes we think, I don't know how to connect to my heart. I don't know how to feel it. Hold your breath, dude. You'll find it. You hold it, and you'll eventually, a lot of times, start feeling really positive, like really satisfying emotions, because your body will start to liberate, your heart will liberate some oxytocin and stuff like that, which is like the love molecule, right? So it's pretty easy. You can help yourself feel a lot better. Boom, just like that. Just like that, just like that. Okay. So now let me turn this tunage off. We got some momentum going now. All right, cool. So we did a small little breath warm up for our biggest pain in our body. All right, we've recognized our scale with exercise 4. Boom. All right, so how do I get myself to 10? How do I get myself pumped to move today? It's raining right now, right? There's just like, could be easy to find excuses. So what I want to do is do a little experiment here, right? The first thing we'll do, I might go get a little sugar, honestly. A little sugar. Usually I don't have like refined sugar. But I don't know, this yerba mate, like if you put a little sugar in there, it's so nice. And first thing, actually that's what I'm gonna do right now. That's what I wanted to segue as well. Not segue, but the other topic I want to bring up was sugars. Sugar, inflammation of gut / tongue. For me, I get a lot of indication of foods on my tongue. My tongue is very sensitive. But your tongue basically is connected straight to your digestive system, right? So usually if you look at your tongue, it's going to give you a pretty good idea of what's going on here. So I'm pull up Google here. Boom. What's going on here? Ooh, Katy Perry with space, New Mexico arson. What? Tesla dealership. Come on, dude. And then you got El Salvador, so maybe we can talk some of that stuff too. But let's check this out. So I'm saying I got a ChatGPT thread that's really good for this type of stuff. I'm going to go down to Excellence Addicts, and I'm going to go to Breathwork and Metabolic Health. Okay. All right. So today, let's talk about my yerba mate. We were talking about my yerba mate, but if you drink sugar, if you drink coffee, if you drink tea, and adding a refined sugar, does it nutritionally, through proven science, affect tongue irritation and inflammation that I usually get from too much acidity, like coffee or grapefruit? And what does it do to my gut microbiome? Is it true there are parasites and bacteria that affect my thoughts and body to eat more sugar and more refined sugar and unhealthy products to sustain themselves? Okay, this is something my wife's been studying a bunch too. So we're gonna get a nutrition element in it, because a lot of times if we feel better, so maybe I shouldn't get the sugar right now like I was saying, but I kind of wanted to. Boom, top pain. So we're talking about pain today, joint pain. We got nutrition, and then we got movement. Okay. Let's see what we got from ChatGPT on this. And how we doing, y'all? How we doing in the chat? I mean, the yerba mate it's fine without the sugar. Boom, boom, boom. So let's check this out. Give me some blocks. Give me some Roblox. Chat GPT. Chat GPT usually goes faster than that. But I don't know. So what I can say right now, I can say that sugar is probably not a great idea. I mean, like as you start eating healthier, you start recognizing what works for your body. But still, it would be kind of nice. But like I said, so we got the sugar idea we can dive into here when ChatGPT is ready to get into it. Stay tuned for that. We did a little breath exercise for our breath exercise, top joint pain. Okay. And I'm at a 4 on wanting to exercise. Okay, so we can get into that. What about y'all? You guys ready to pump today? Of course, like, you know. All right, cool. So let's see. Sugar, inflammation of gut and tongue. Let's see. ChatGPT get back to me on that. Nope. All right. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Over here. Yeah. So I don't need no sugar. So I just don't need a lot of acidity. The acidity just like gives me probs, dude. Right there. Isn't that crazy? Certain gut bacteria thrive on sugar and can influence host cravings to favor their preferred nutrients. That's so crazy. This bidirectional communication between the gut and brain can affect dietary choices. Diets high in refined sugar can disrupt the balance of the gut microbiome. Yep. I usually don't eat a lot of sugar. I just have fruit, which is fructose sugar, the good sugar. All right, so whatever, dude. All this stuff is, I don't need it. We're good. So we're gonna see right now if we can pull myself into a really high state of wanting to do exercise. Okay. Oh. Okay. So right now, I'll breathe. I'll find my heart again, like I said, so I can put my two hands on my chest. And I'm gonna inhale for like 3 seconds, really fully. And then I'm gonna hold it for 9 seconds. And exhale for 6 seconds, okay? Starting right now. Okay. So, it's such a good breath, right? So a breath, like you can call it like a reality check breath. 3-second inhale. 9-second hold. 6-second inhale. And I don't do this all the time, man. I'm just saying, like, for me, if I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling lost, if I breathe like that. Feels a lot better. So, what I'm gonna do here now, let's check out how we're feeling. Hey, Steven Loves Elephants. How we doing, man? Hope you're doing well too, dude. How you feeling today on schedule 1 to 10 for exercising? Okay. How you feeling on schedule 1 to 10? And also, do you got joint pain? Okay. And what I'm probably gonna do here is I'm gonna switch now to my iPhone camera and I'm gonna go to the whiteboard. We're gonna change views, okay? So let's go to, boom. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go to the iPhone view now. And we're gonna focus on, I don't really know what's going on with my Twitch stream right here. I forgot I was playing around with this. Okay. That's all good. Okay, so we got that going on here. And yeah, here's what we'll do. Okay, so let me get the camera pointed right to the screen, or right to the whiteboard. Oh, why is I just noticed that dang it, come on, dog. camera for iPhone is like not even recording the way it should, dude. Come on. Maybe I need to go here. There we go. This will probably help out. Yeah, we're gonna go with the whiteboard, bro. Steven just hit me back up. I'm doing fine, exhausted. Just woke up 30 minutes ago for so I'd say about a 7. Staying on schedule, but also maybe overdoing it, not getting much rest days. There we go. So Steven's feeling 7 out of 10 on exercising today. That's good, man. I'm feeling like 4 out of 10 right now. I'm feeling not super pumped right now, but we'll find it. We'll find it. It's gonna come soon here. So here we go. Okay, I got this going. We're gonna use the whiteboard because I like to type. If you're on the Twitch, you're gonna be able to see me a lot better. I think Steven's on the Twitch. If you're on the mobile stream on YouTube, it's not gonna look super clean, but it's all good, dude. Let's see. Yep, so I'm right here. Back that up. Going back it up. Hey, going back it up. And what I'll say, so yeah, I was saying, Steven, I did some concrete work, man, last week. I think I was texting you. And that concrete, dude, it's nice, dude. When you have, dang it, come on, dude. I'm so close here. When you gotta really just tune into the moment. You know, when you really gotta tune in to the moment and just like work like that is super impressive. So if I get my head right here. Okay, now bring this. I'm still trying to get my setup right here because I want to be able to kind of move back and forth smooth. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Steven. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, just I've been going through like a challenging time in life, as well, dude. So I was making a lot of videos just like a year and a half ago and coaching a bunch of people. And then, I got a baby. I got my wife now, a lot of big transformations. And so I'm kind of getting back to like doing what I can share for anyone, basically, and trying to get their feet going back again. But actually, at the same time, like I do take a lot of what I got for granted sometimes. Like I'm still actually super fit. I can do like muscle ups and stuff. I can run really fast. So we're in a pretty good position on a lot of those things. And so really, things are a lot better than we think if we just recognize what we got already and build up. But you always got to start from your base and build up from there. And so that's where I'm going to talk about actually the base, right? I'm going to talk about the chakras basically and how we can look at them from more of a scientific lens right here. I hope things get better. Help protection. I love that you spend quality time with family. Thank you so much, Steven. Exactly, man. Definitely we should talk on here. And I got you on the Discord. I'm going to start getting more people in the Discord. And yeah, what I'm going to do this week was a Tuesday. Yeah, maybe Steven, if you had a good idea, like if you're able to, if you know like a really good time for you, I don't want to rush you. Like if you're able to be showered up, have good rest, and then boom, hop on Discord and we just talk, and then we do it on stream, talking about whatever goals you got and how to get stronger, drop weight, whatever it might be. But what I'm going to talk about is, all right, so the big things I was sharing already, I'm going to attribute it to the chakras, because our body is a temple. Our body is like a map for a lot of these things emotionally too. So I can't draw really that well. But what I'm going to do is like think about it like our body, like electronic circuit here. All right, so I was an aircraft mechanic, right? So this is the ground. And when you draw circuits electronically, ground. Okay. So this will be root chakra. And then we got boom. Let me go with, yeah, let me just bring this up. And we'll go into like, can I draw a peach? I can't really draw nothing, dude. We're just gonna draw circles, okay? Sacral. Right. Root. Okay, solar. And now these plexuses are actually neurological. There's a bunch of neurons in our body. So the chakras, they're actually a thing. We used to think it was kind of like just some weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like it was not weird, but you know, like Western people, we thought that all this chakra stuff that was coming from Vedic textures and stuff from India, a lot of times we're just like, that's not true, that's BS. But nah, dude, this stuff's legit. Because we can see they study now all this. So we got heart chakra, we got throat, and then you got above that, my whiteboard. And then above that we got crown. Usually, some people will list 8 chakras. Or sorry, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, actually, technically I gotta add more. But I'm just gonna leave it right here because the crown, everything above there, I'm just gonna focus on the throat and below. Because the point is when we focus on the root and everything like that, when we have really good grounding and we become a good receiver for the electricity and we have everything flowing good, then the crown, that's like where you kind of get more into the metaphysical idea, the divinity type of stuff that I'm not really quite ready to dive into. Neither do I feel like I still understand really well. But basically through meditation, through breath work, you can breathe and feel all these things. And a lot of times we are doing this already without even noticing it. And especially you can tell a lot of times in the gym while you're working out. So that's why I like to talk about fitness a lot. Because for me, the fitness is just like a perfect way to understand ourselves emotionally and how to just, love ourselves more and find more respect for ourselves. So we're going to talk about the big idea of emotions, right? Emotions. Energy in motion is emotion. Now let me know y'all if the dogs in the street get too loud. And we can say thoughts. Most of like the way we live our life is just this feedback cycle of just thought and emotion. And so, boom. Now the big thing I noticed with the grounding, with the root chakra here, so on everything on the right hand side, is like security, right? Security, survival. So a lot of times if we're feeling insecure, we tighten up our like legs, our groin, or like, or if we're feeling really secure. If we're feeling really secure, we're gonna open up our legs and we're gonna put our butthole in the sun and get tan because we have so much privacy that we don't even care if we don't care. Nobody's gonna come find us doing something weird out in nature. We don't care, dude. We're out there, we're secure. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of just think of the extremes a little bit, As far as I know with the schedule, just want to let you know it looks peach-like. What's peach-like, man? Oh, yeah. Peach-like. What I drew on the sacral or what? But yeah, Steven, let me know, man. I think tomorrow could be a good day to hop on, dude. And see if we got some ideas. All right. Okay. So I was mentioning for me, I was feeling definitely insecure. I had a dream last night that I felt just like, I don't know, sometimes the dreams right now, any of y'all having intense dreams right now? I had a dream I was feeling, the drawing. Yep, it's kind of my peach right there, sacral. I think if I do like this, actually, if I put like a little line, that should give me a little peach effect. Just put a little line in there. There. So So the dream I had, just like, I don't know if this has happened for a lot of people, but usually when I talk to people recently, it's like their dreams have been crazy too. Mine have been fucking nuts. But yeah, I felt the insecurity in this dream. I feel like a fraud, you know what I'm saying? So we got security. Now let's go to sacral. Is usually like pleasure, right? So it's like sex or food, yummy food, dancing to music. It's like a sensual body connected pleasure, and can be primal in essence because it's usually food, music, but it's not necessarily primal. It's just not really. It's not a thought like, oh, this is so cool. It's more just like you're into it. So usually, what's connected to this emotionally for us is guilt. Guilt on the negative end, and then what's the other side? Joy on the other end of it. Because I believe like joy, I think like guilt, all guilt is, it's like joy that feels like stolen, or joy that like doesn't feel like it has integrity is basically what guilt is. Not always, but it's like something like that. It's like satisfaction without integrity is kind of, or something like that is like what guilt is usually. So for a lot of us in the sacral chakra and the root, so our groin, our low back, a lot of times we're like, arching our back. If we don't really dance a lot, we feel like kind of shameful about our lower body, our hips and stuff like that. And we don't allow ourselves to feel that pleasure. We don't feel that pleasure because a lot of times if we've had guilty experiences, then it can make it hard to feel pleasure because we just feel like we don't deserve it. And then a lot of times what's good as you start doing more awareness here and you start opening your mind up and your heart, you realize that a lot of these guilt and shame dynamics came from other people. They're not from you. They're not from you. Someone in your life told you that this is wrong. And sometimes there are wrong things right there. Sometimes your truth meter and your body is going to definitely go through with that. All right. So pleasure. Now we can go into will or solar. So if you're feeling powerless or powerful, basically. And so definitely I get a lot of the powerless feeling too, where I'll be really tight in my breathing, really shallow. Because when you're feeling powerful, you take a deeper breath, you talk slower, you don't like sometimes I do that too. If you're feeling powerful, if you feel like you have will and like self-respect and trust, you can take a deep breath, let your diaphragm go lower. Let your stomach expand. And it's all good, dude. It's all good. There ain't no problem with that. Okay? But so if we feel threatened or we feel like we want to play small, you know what I'm saying? So there's that one, will. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever noticed like if you feel like you're around somebody that's like smarter or like more apt at doing something and you guys have to work together and they're the leader too, and they're kind of, let's say they're pushing you a little bit more to like you start like breathing like shallower and faster and you start contracting and you start feeling powerless. And sometimes you reciprocally will do that on accident to people that are in the opposite position as well. Like if you're kind of the chief in charge and then you have your young apprentice that you got to teach them how to do everything and they're just like at your disposal to do what you say, you start breathing deeper. Hey, go grab that thing over there and blah blah and bring it back, and you just are kind of like feeling powerful, like that's right, they do whatever I say. So those are the extremes. I like to use the extremes. Ooh, the throat. I'm excited to get into the throat chakra actually here in a second because I can tell. For me, there's a lot to say there. And then the heart chakra, right? Love, bro. love. So if you're feeling closed off, if you're not, love is like acceptance. It's like unconditional. It's there. Love is unconditional. I don't think there's technically not such a thing as conditional love. I mean, I guess it kind of is, right? I guess conditional love just is not informed yet. You know what I'm saying? Once love in the heart, once unconditional love has been shown, which I understand, like I'm working with that, then we feel a lot better overall. So wait 1 second, I wanted to say on solar plexus. So like I was saying, this for me is usually represented in shallow breathing, and then like stomach tightness, okay? Or like really, yeah, usually that's what it is connected to. This lower back pain will usually be down there, but this all connects, right? So if you have like any one of these parts of the chain can make your pains be more aggravated. And so the heart is like the shoulders, the chest, you know what I'm saying? When somebody's like really like closed off and skinny and tight and her shoulders rounded, it's like they're usually not really embracing the love of life. And then when you see like the alpha dad who's got the big chest and he's a good guy, hey, come here, sonny. He's like got his chest wide open and it's huge, his back is strong. And so it's like the heart is like chest. So boom, really open it up. And so if we're feeling, yes, closed off from love, we're usually tight and skinny. And then our breath, it's like the breath, like solar plexus, if you can't get it to go lower, it's going to be even harder for it to expand into the chest. More. Right? So this is why breathwork, yoga exercises, just fitness in general, it helps you tap into this. And then the throat, man, is your neck, right? Oh. And the throat, the neck, a lot of times what I recognize, it's like connected to like flexibility, right? In general, like, am I flexible with, so flexibility, right? Flexibility, and then it's also like truth. Your throat is truth, right? The throat chakra, you express truth. So when the heart is open and full of love through your voice, you express truth. All right, so your neck and your throat really are like these examples of truth, like living your life truthfully, right? So as I speak, it's a reminder for me to speak more right here. I notice for me when I start feeling inferior and insecure, I start speaking right here on this left part of my face, in the front of my mouth, on the side. But if I relax and speak more here, then bang, I can speak more with my truth. But it can be a process, you forget, you lose your voice, you lose your truth sometimes throughout life. And that's what I've felt like I've been learning how to find it all again. And that's why I like to do the streaming, Streaming is where I can just slow down. And so with how we can improve the throat chakra is through da-da-da-da-da singing, bro. We can play music, sing mantra. We can be in the gym, and when you move and you are working on your strength, express yourself truthfully. Like grunt, feel the if you work a labor job, when you start doing that, it feels a lot better. Like I was cleaning out the pool over here. And I had a rhythm going. I had a rhythm going where I was like, oh, like picking up the water. And then my baby came outside with my wife. I had a bucket and I was scooping up the water and throwing it out into the street to get the water, take the water out. And I was like, "Mahoo, baby girl," or something like that. I was kind of like singing like a song for my daughter. And I could feel like the labor was getting easier the more I was like singing like that. It was legit. I was like, oh, this is dope, dude. So it's like, I get it. Like, if you can find your throat chakra, your truth while you work, it takes things to the next level, man. Obviously, sometimes we don't want to all be singing really loud when we're in a work environment, but it can be useful. So the throat is truth, man. The throat is truth. The throat is truth. And so if you're like, the throat is truth. And what I know is for me, bro, the tongue. The tongue is part of the throat. I don't even want to show my tongue on camera, dude. Because my tongue is effed up right now. But your tongue is kind of like that. It's kind of like that map of your chakras. The face and the tongue are like basically representative of your chakras. So like your jaw, if you got a really big built jaw on the lower side, usually your root chakra is pretty strong too. You know what I'm saying? You ever notice how guys that are really brainy, really big thinkers and smart and like kind of nerdy, sometimes they have a really underdeveloped lower jaw, but like their brain, like their head is like kind of big up top. It's because like all like their energy is up in the brain. Like, rather than dispersed throughout the full body. And so then like our head kind of grows that way. This is a lot of speculation. I'm not saying this is for sure. Neither am I saying that that's scientifically proven. But that's just when you start to intuit some of these things from yoga, from chiropractic work, from exercise even. Like there's even a study I could pull up that blew my mind a little bit. The hamstring is like connected to the facial expressions within the jaw too. And I can feel it when I'm like with my hamstring. So it's like the face has these connections expressionally to parts of our body, That's pretty wild, right? So Steven loves elephants. Dreams are interesting, man, for sure. They're wild. They're so unique. They're really important, dude. Okay. So now on the left-hand side, I was kind of actually already saying this, right? So I was saying pleasure. The thought is like satisfaction, guilt. So let me do that over here. So secure. The thought is like, safe, basically. Safe or unsafe. Satisfied. Satisfied. And then solar is like powerful. And then the heart is like gratitude, right? Like the joy, the great grace of being alive. And then the thought of truth and the emotion is like, it's just like this truthful thing. It's like how do you explain that thought? It's just like I say what I need to say. It's like conviction, right? It's conviction. You know what I'm saying? So I've struggled with a lot of this. This is why I make these videos and talk about this stuff, because like, dude, it's just like I've had a lot of issues, dude. I've just struggled a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just go to this lens where I just want to understand like what's actually happening And this is basically what you can kind of recognize. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that right there for now. Save. And what else do we want to do there? Came from the bottom, down below. Yeah, no, that was the big thing I wanted to teach right there. So we got 3 viewers in here right now. How you feeling in the chat, yo? How we doing? Make sure to like, subscribe, send with your homies. I'm gonna pull out the guitar here now, okay? I'm gonna pull out the guitar and just kind of groove for a second, get into a little bit of a meditation, and think about what I'm noticing here and see if I can attribute this to some fitness motivation as well. So let me get the guitar. How we doing? Yeah, Yo, Steven. How we doing, man? Okay, so now I'm switching over to this camera, right? So we talked about the chakras and stuff, y'all. Talked about the emotions. We talked about a lot of that. Okay. So we got to find today. We're going to think about that life where exercise is easy, where we feel grounded in our hips, in our groin. Like we know we show up to the gym, we're safe there. There's people we love, they accept us. We feel satisfied starting our workout, and even more satisfied finishing the workout. And then I feel powerful. You feel powerful. As you do your workouts, you breathe deep. You're able to look people in the eye. And we're able to feel we show up and we're in the gym, and I throw that background track on. Okay. And I'm sorry, my guitar's making a bunch of noise there. So I imagine for myself, right? I'll show up. For me, I like the CrossFit gym, right? So if I am at the gym, I say hi to the people working, the owners. Maybe there's a guy working out, doing the exercises I want to do. There's a little calisthenics section, doing pull-ups. Maybe we go over to the Olympic lifting section, we're doing snatch. And we're just taking our time, we're just focused on our work. Maybe we say what's up, but we respect each other's goals. And we aren't trying to intrude. Okay. So we got great music in there. I'm able to stretch, I'm able to feel loose, I'm able to do my weird yoga stuff. My big stretches, my breath work. And in my breath, my diaphragm, I'm expanded, my solar plexus, that center part of my abdomen basically, right? So the solar plexus is between your heart and your belly button, right between there. Basically your stomach, right? I feel expanded, I feel trust. And then in my heart, I remember to take a deep breath again. And hold it for 9 seconds in the heart. And exhale. Okay, feel that joy, feel that satisfaction. Inhale again. Exhale. And in my heart, I'm finding that genuine passion to improve my body and my goals. Not to compare myself with anyone else, just the refining process of getting better, the mastery of developing your body, your strength, your mobility, the genuine love you have for that for yourself. And so I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that as I work on my mobility with snatch, while I'm working on my muscle ups in calisthenics, while I'm working on my abs and doing the basics, even simple push-ups, even a simple plank, feeling more in control, feeling more of the eccentric part of the exercise, more of the stretch, more of the squeeze of the concentric, feeling myself build more and more stability in my shoulders, in my hips. And feeling my groin, my lower body, my hips extremely stable, grounded, my feet gripping the earth as I do my deadlifts, as I do my squats. Focused just on 1 rep at a time. No rush, doing what needs to be done, and that's it. Having patience with my process. Looking in the mirror and seeing a love for that guy right there in the mirror. Knowing that we are getting better. We're there. We showed up. We showed up. We're here. And we're going to rock it. Okay? That's the move. Maybe I got a goal, right? Maybe I got a goal I'm working towards. And the goal is not about what it looks like, it's about what it feels like. What does the strongest version of myself look like on the inside? What does it feel like in the heart? You know what I'm saying? I can feel my joint. I feel aligned. I rub my hands together. This helps bring my brain waves from the left and right hemispheres more together. What does a expanded abdomen, expanded trunk feel like? And remember, that my voice is my truth. My voice is my conviction about what I know, about who I am. And to not take myself so seriously, man. To laugh and pick yourself apart with some jokes and remember and love your humanness. We are perfect imperfections. The first two letters of imperfect is I am perfect, right? That's right, man. And life is unfolding the way it needs to. We clear our throats. We find our hum. You clear it all out. And so I'm at the gym, you're at the gym, we're having a great workout. We're connected to our goal. We feel our higher goal inside of us. I feel myself, even as I work with this bar on Snatch, it feels how it feels when I do my best, my personal record. The feeling I have is all that matters. Ooh. And I can find satisfaction in my hips, in my sacral chakra. And I recognize that when I feel satisfied with my efforts, when I can allow myself to respect my parasympathetic state, my peaceful state, and after I train, after I eat, this is how we increase growth hormone, testosterone. This is how we build muscle. Remember, when you stay in fight or flight and you're rushing all day long and you feel like you need to be doing something, that you are blasting your cortisol. Your foot is on the pedal and you are using too much fuel. It's time to recharge and build your muscles. So honor your growth, honor your progress, because when you honor your growth, honor your progress, you grow, you progress. Okay? And from there, we'll take a deep breath and bring it into our heart, okay? So inhale and hold. Nice. And breathe in. And hold. Exhale. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Now with my palms wide open, receiving and feeling the power in my hands and in my chest and in my heart, I inhale and I expand my fingertips and feel my power in my shoulders, my biceps, my forearms. Exhale. There we go. I massage my nose and my face. Okay, pay attention to nothing but relaxing. Okay. Ooh, ooh. And relax. And this time when we relax, and now we're gonna inhale all the way through the abdomen, through the heart, and into the throat. Okay. And hold. And let go. Boom. Okay, so we'll stop with that for right now. How we doing in the chat? Thank you so much, Stephen. Thanks for checking this out. How we doing so far, guys? We doing good? So at this point, that little exercise was just a little breath and visualization for how we can prepare for a good training session in the gym today. Or maybe it's out in the calisthenics park. We want to feel that higher goal inside of us. What would it feel like to be our strongest version, our most stable version, our lighter version? It's all neurons. It's all energy and motion. It's all emotion. It's all finding that feeling now, finding that security, finding that pleasure, that satisfaction, finding that power, that will inside, finding that genuine love for life in the heart, that you love to see yourself grow. You love to just become a master of your craft. And your throat is comfortable, your voice is comfortable, expressing itself, its conviction, its truth. And remember that we are being called really in this world now to find our heart even more. And so when you have any moment, you can. If you feel like you're getting too much in your head and you're thinking too much, we just must inhale, feel our heart. You can put your hands on your heart. And as you bring your attention, your focus there, you will find more gratitude. You will find more love for life. And everything will start to feel easier. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're remembering today. And I hope that works for y'all. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at EthanEtchart. Send me a message, send me a DM. Reply to this video. Leave comments always to know more about how we can connect to the emotional field, how we can use our breath, how we can feel the stretch, the eccentric in the exercise, how we can connect our breath to the push, increase our hormones, our testosterone, our growth hormone through these parasympathetic exercises, how we can really build strength right now. So thank you for checking this out. And we'll talk soon. So thank you.